What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my studio. So it seems like people are still on a money train when it comes to Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. The game is continually getting the hype, and fans are hyping this game up for the release later this year and possibly a physical copy in 2025, which I'm all for physical copies. I think I pretty much prefer that. So this time we're going to be having this content creator, shout out to him, sharing and interviewing the creators of this game about how this game came to be. And I know this video is going to be so much fun to watch. Let's get to it.
All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are going back in time, and I mean that in two ways, all right? First off, we're going back to the 90s, where we're playing a Power Rangers game that needed to come out way back when. And also, the theme of this game is time travel. Listen, I'm here playing some more Power Rangers here at the Atari booth here at PAX. I'm not going to do too much talking. Look who's playing with me. You see this right here? Yes, that's right. We got devs on deck. Let's get into it. I'm pressing start.
Yeah, Dad.
All right. So yeah, this is the 90s arcade game that the Power Rangers were always supposed to have that they never had. And that was our...
Yeah, shout out to Digital Eclipse for actually creating it.
The way that you would have remembered it, even if it wasn't that good. So we can take advantage of modern stuff like, obviously, bigger sprites, better, higher fidelity, stuff like that. But we can also do 5 players. We can do 5 players on all platforms. We can do it online and offline.
5 players? That's a good thing that they're actually doing this, because even though I still have my PS4, but I pretty much prefer to play on my PS5 because it's backwards compatible. So the fact that this game is 5 players, you can play as the 5 Rangers, but what about the 6? So the game should also be a 6-player game, which means that it also includes Tommy. Just wondering.
Got an arcade game. The X-Men got an X-Men. The Turtles got an arcade game. How come the Power Rangers, as big as it was, never got an arcade game? So that's what we've made here. The whole setup,
and it's still big to this day, 31 years later.
Last year there was a Netflix special that was sort of a 30th anniversary special called Once and Always, and they brought Rita back as Robo Rita, as a cyborg version.
And the game is pretty much connected to Once and Always.
There was time travel as part of that plot, so we were able to go and riff off of that. We sent Robo Rita back to the past to team up with her original self, which of course is going to work out great.
Which we never got to see in Once and Always.
She wants to destroy the Power Rangers in Season 1, and that's what we're playing here. It's an alternate history version of Season 1, but Robo Rita knows the last 30 years of failure, and she's holding the original Rita accountable for that.
Oh, I like this. So the fact that she is going back in time to 1993, or 2 for that matter, to hold her younger self accountable for not stepping up to the plate by finding the Rangers. Because when you think about it, in the original series, Rita has never done that. She's always been making monsters grow every episode, but she's never been physical with the Rangers until Once and Always, when she actually fought Billy for the most part in the beginning of the special. So I also like the fact that she is definitely no pushover when it comes to time traveling. She's going to make sure that her younger self accomplished what she could have done 31 years ago of what Robo Rita was able to do by killing Trini off in Once and Always. And so for me, that would have, the thing I didn't like about Once and Always was they didn't able to just have her past younger self to bond with the robot version of herself to just fight the Rangers and destroy all timelines, the morphing grids. So no other Rangers from past universe to come by and help out the Mighty Morphin Rangers the best way they can. That's how evil and dark Once and Always should have been. But I'm so glad that he actually said this. I'm loving it so far.
How we're going to defeat the Rangers. We're going to go back to the beginning and destroy them at the start.
So Robo Rita is pretty much like the overall dictator of everything that's going on.
Yeah,
like Rita's like
she is.
Yeah, Robo Rita is truly evil. Robo Rita is the only person to actually kill a Power Ranger on screen.
Yep, training, of course.
So Yeah, they're teaming up, and our original Rangers here, the original team of Billy and Zach and Jason and Trini and Kimberly,
Goats.
they don't know they're fighting 2 Ritas in this. They find that out as part of the story.
Ah, okay.
So
okay.
the rest of it is just your classic brawler stuff. 70% of the game is brawler. So you have, as soon as you start, you have all these. You have a dive kick, you have a rising punch.
Oh, I just saw a power axe too.
You have all these things that you would expect to find if you were dropping a quarter into the game. So that's our goal, is to make it pick up and play friendly. We have a lot of collectibles. If you're into the Power Rangers, we have a lot of references to the show. If you're not into Power Rangers, it's still just supposed to be the kind of thing that you can pick up and have fun with people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this definitely feels, I'm somebody who watched Power Rangers back in the day, so this really feels great to like go back in time and tap into that. But
Same for me.
Here, to your point, oh boy, would this have been something great to have on SNES, something to have in the arcades. And it's very easy to pick up and play. I'm just jumping around, mashing buttons, having a good time. We're literally chatting. I'm pressing, listen, I'm just pushing buttons, having a good time. I'm not tormenting too many people, you know what I mean?
This game looks a lot of fun. Like, I can't wait to pick this game up myself.
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna buy it digitally because I know it's gonna cost a lot of money that I can't afford. So
like, you know, there's punch and kick, but if you start mixing up X, which is attack, and A, which is jump, you'll start finding that, like, oh, if I'm in midair,
like different combos
down with X, I'll do a ground pound. If I jump up and just hit attack without pressing down, then I do a dive kick.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, I like that part as well. It makes sense.
Oh, it's an uppercut.
Okay. And that's good because we have some airborne enemies throughout the game.
Right.
And then there's this dodge roll with B, which you go back and forth. You can do that. There are some enemies that block. You can get behind them very quickly by doing that. There's a double tap will dash. You know, so it's stuff that becomes
you can do that with the 4 too.
But it's not too difficult.
Yeah, and you know, really I do appreciate that because, you know, there is a beat 'em up culture where a lot of the things you just mentioned are pretty universal. Yeah. And that's here in this game, so it's very easy to pick up and play. I like that.
So we just found a hidden collectible. There are 20 of those. It's not even the only kind of collectible in the game, but those are references. That's Mr. Tickle Sneezer. That's a doll that Trini owned in season 1. So we have those kind of things there for the fans that want them. Obviously, popcorn and soda in every garbage can. That's all, you know, everything a growing Ranger needs.
If we're not digging through the trash, we're not playing the 90s.
Right, yeah, exactly. So we're having fun with the tropes of the thing. But we also have these special...
Ain't nothing wrong with the 90s beat 'em up. You got the MAPR movie on the Sega Genesis, which is better than the Super Nintendo version, in my opinion. The first game, it was a beat 'em up. It was like a side-scroller beat 'em up, but with platforms. But it's still better than the movie version on the Super Nintendo, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with 90s beat 'em ups. So stop the cap.
I know those are in the game as well. Talk about those real fast.
Yeah, as you beat up the putties and as you beat up the enemies, you build up a special meter underneath your health bar.
Right.
And you can use them to wipe out an entire wave of enemies on the screen. You can also grab people. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, just like the Super Nintendo days.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you did very well.
Yeah, nigga.
There we go. Our people are here.
Real Rangers are in the building. Let's go.
Damn right.
So at the end, like for instance, Black Ranger, you had the longest hit streak. You had a 44 hit streak. We're going to keep track of that.
Oh.
Obviously, the Rangers play as a team. Yeah. But, you know, on the couch.
Yeah, someone's got to brag a little bit.
Competition. Right.
Yo, you notice how Zach is moving like this? Like, that's just hip hop keto fighting stance right there.
Hey,
I like it.
Got the ass rank together. I love it.
Yeah. So we do have a plot.
Again,
for people that care about the plot. It does.
The color sprite, the artwork is so good.
Rangers, but it riffs on Power Rangers history. We have some alternate history stuff. Yeah. Because Robo Rita knows the future, and so she can say, "Oh, you know what? We didn't have these Tenga Warriors until season 3, but I'm going to bring them in now in season 1, and they're not going to be ready for them." So now we have these enemies that fans know that they never would have gotten.
Tenga Warriors!
Arcade game back in the day that they can have now. And these guys fly, so that's where that rising,
the uppercut punch comes.
Yeah, the uppercut really helps. But we're also up on the rooftops because it's not a Power Rangers episode unless they're on the rooftops at some point. So you can fall off, but you can also throw enemies off. You have to be careful, as Red just found out. So, there's a little risk and reward. We didn't want to make it something where you had to like put in tokens, even though that is our inspiration for gameplay. So keeping yourself alive is.
I'm wondering if you could just toss them off the rooftop.
Building up your special meter. When you fall off or when you die, you lose your special meter and you have to build it up again. So there is a penalty, and it is worth it to play smart and be strategic and look for those health power-ups.
Right.
But it's also not the end of the world. Again, if you're a 35-year-old Power Ranger and your son or daughter wants to play with you and they're 11, and you want to like be like, yo, Power
Chunk
Rangers
Fried
is what
Chicken,
I grew
that's
up
the,
with and I love this stuff.
Right.
We want it to be
reference
fun
from the
for them too. We
seventh
want it to be the
episode.
kind of game that anybody can pick up and play and not feel like there's a big penalty.
Right. You hear that? You don't have to have a controller unplugged sitting next to someone
That's
in
right.
front of you. You know what I mean?
You're doing
Oh,
great,
yeah.
honey, you're not touching. They'll actually be able to just sort of spam X and it'll feel pretty good.
So in regards to the world building, how much interactions, or if any, do the Rangers in the past have with the Rangers in the present? Like, are there the past and present Rangers, or is it just Rangers in the past, they just got caught up in something?
Yeah, that opening scene is the Rangers of present day, of the Rangers that were in Once and Always, basically.
Right.
And that just says Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, and stuff like that. Here, this is definitely the original team, and you'll see in the cinemas, they're name by name. It's Billy, it's Trini. So the rest of the game does take place in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's an alternate. It's an alternate timeline in the 90s, but it is the original team doing that. So yeah, we don't. Obviously, it would be a lot of story crafting.
Yeah, you got to be careful with this game as well. You don't want to fall off the cliff.
What we tried to do was make story beats that make sense to fans of the original series.
Yeah.
We make references to things that happen off screen or that, like, happen in episodes that we're not directly covering with gameplay.
Right.
But I will say that, like, in every episode, you went back to the juice bar, you hung out with the kids. We're going to have a chance for you to hang out in the juice bar.
I like that, yes. That is awesome.
What I would have loved for them to actually do is do a Power Rangers Zeo beat 'em up game just like this, because we never had one in '96. It was like a Mario Kart ripoff, but with motorcycles and go-karts. Except it was the most hardest game ever. So I want to see them do the Zeo one just like this, and I would have loved for them to actually do the Dino Fury trilogy. Both seasons of Dino Fury and the conclusion of Cosmic Fury, when Billy comes back to help out the Rangers, but mentors them as well. I want to see them do like a follow-up to Cosmic Fury on what the character's been up to since the ending of their show. While Zato is now an official Morphin Master. You know what? I would have loved for Cosmic Fury to actually do something like this, because I know for a fact that deep down the fans would absolutely go nuts if Digital Eclipse announces the next project, which is going to be Cosmic Fury and Dino Fury, like the original trilogy.
And that's some of the story. So that all makes sense. And we have some other fun things that we're not showing as part of this demo. We have additional mechanics for the brawler that's going to be revealed later. Right. We want people to be able to find it on themselves. We have a lot of interesting collectibles, multiple collectible systems and secrets that people will be able to. Again, we want you to go back and play it more than once, right? It's an arcade game. You're supposed to be like, that was fun. I feel like maybe I want to do that next week.
Right.
We'll do it again with a different group of friends, and so you can do that. Oh, sorry,
I forgot
Black
to
Ranger.
uppercut. That's my fault.
Yeah. But the fact that you're falling off the roof and still laughing and having fun tells me that we're probably onto something pretty decent here. Hopefully the fans are going to appreciate the kind of game we're trying to play, and that it's kind of it's not consequence free, but we don't ride you for not being a great player, or we don't ride you for playing distracted or doing an interview while you're
like this. Exactly. I just fell off as he said that, by the way.
This should be a casual fun game for
I mean, it doesn't have to be serious all the time, unless it's like an important game.
No. You know what? I didn't want the taco out of the garbage can anyway. You go right ahead.
That's fine. If we don't have banter like this, and we don't feel like we're a family sitting down, it's not that type of vibe.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This is awesome. This is what I'm talking about.
So these Tenga, you can if you walk up to them, a lot of times you can grab them. You can throw them to one of your teammates. They can do an uppercut. You can basically do alley-oops, and you can get into big juggles, and they just feel satisfying, even when they just happen by accident.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah.
I love the infinite juggles.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot of infinite, so there's ways to cooperate, collaborate, and things like that, which is awesome.
There we go. There's taco and a hamburger if you want to get on.
What beat 'em ups made you like want to dive into this and make this? Like, what is? Well, I know you have a little bit of a beef with the Simpsons and the Ninja Turtles.
No, I don't. No, not at all.
Being out before this came out, but it sounds like there's a lot of love here. Jump in.
It just seems unfair. That's all.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we were working on right before we started this game was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection. Right. Remastered the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Turtles 1 and 2, Turtles in Time, you know, the Super Nintendo
Hyperstone Heights.
fighting game.
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out to
we were
Hyperstone Heights
working on
fans
that
out there.
when we got into the idea of we should do this. So that was really a primary thing. But at the same time, we saw Streets of Rage 4. We saw Shredder's
the best
Revenge,
games
all
ever
these other
made,
games, and we're like,
and that
these
game as
people are
well.
doing great work, and we can be part of this too. There's life in this genre that people may not have expected.
If I were to be a game designer, I would have loved to actually work with Digital Eclipse about doing the Dino Fury trilogy to end it all with Cosmic Fury, like a continuation of both seasons, but with a darker twist. Then it would have been more surprises, cameos from the Rangers themselves that didn't really show up in Cosmic Fury, despite the Megazord battle that we saw in space. That didn't count. We want to see the Rangers themselves, not the Zords. But I would have loved to actually work with Digital Eclipse because as an artist myself, I think the pixel art is going to be very challenging for me, but I know deep down that I can get it done. Because if we're going to make a Dino Fury trilogy with the cast doing the voiceovers, money, absolute money.
Out all the minions when
You're the only one that had it. I think we did too much dying at that point
you guys,
in time.
you guys had a little fun jumping off the roof, but that's okay. You're allowed to. So
Hey, listen, we were going up, you know, in flames.
Yeah, so we've almost got Goldar. If we just gang up on, there you go, nice shot, Red Ranger. So, of course, you still have this, so like, oh, Red had the longest streak.
For sure.
Red also had the most damage.
Thank you, Red. Thank
Yellow
you.
jumped in very late, so only had 21, but thank you for your contribution.
So she's kind of like the
course, it's Power
cameo.
Rangers, so
Interesting.
even when you think you've defeated the boss, that's when Rita comes back in and says, I have to do everything myself. We've probably given her a
Make
headache.
her monster
Good old
grow.
Rita Repulsa, that's
Yeah.
her.
Just
That's
like
her
the
mom.
show.
She throws down her magic wand from the Moon Palace and says, make my Goldar grow, and he does.
Yes. Oh.
And what you're going to be able to do, though, is a different kind of 90s arcade gameplay. You're going to do a super scalar thing. So like Outrun or Space Harrier, you're going to be in the Dinozord, you're going to be blasting away, chasing Goldar, and then when you catch Goldar, for the first time in a Power Rangers game, you're going to be in the cockpit.
Oh my goodness.
And this slugfest that always happens at the end of every episode, you are going to punch Goldar until he goes down.
So
you're
it's
gonna
more
punch
than just the 5-man on the ground beat 'em up.
Yeah, that's about 70% of the game, the brawler.
That is kind of cool though. I ain't gonna lie.
There's racing. You said the giant battles.
Yeah, there's fighting. There's blasting. There's a lot of shooting. There's a roller coaster level for no reason other than it would be fun to do a roller coaster.
It's the 90s. Throw it in there.
Exactly.
Yes. Book it.
Yeah, we're
do
having
it.
fun with that aspect of it. So yeah, it's supposed to be the ultimate 90s game this franchise never got, and we really hope that people enjoy just picking it up and playing and having a blast. And again, you look like you had a lot of fun.
I was having a blast. Yeah.
And you can laugh all the way through it. Even if you're doing poorly, you can have a lot of fun. But you did great. You did great.
I appreciate that. I mean, I fell off a couple of times, but I did have a good streak, so I'm happy about that. No, seriously, this is now knowing that you had an impact on the remastered versions of those classic beat-em-up games that we talked about.
We got to study them, and now we get to apply what we
You got to
learned.
get hands in, get a lot deeper, and then to create a masterpiece like this. When I saw it at the Game Awards, I felt like this had a lot of standout appeal to it. And now I understand why. There's a lot of love and appreciation put into this.
Yeah, I'm glad it is.
There's a lot of awareness.
You don't see that in most video game companies nowadays, except maybe like for like Capcom and NetherRealm Studios.
Yeah, we love this genre, and we wanted to do it right, and we wanted to do it right by the fans.
And they're doing it right so far.
Rangers fans, something that they always wanted.
Gotcha. Remind me again, when can we get our hands on this, and what platforms? Because I feel like I need this on everything. But
you will get it on everything. I'm happy to say it's PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox
Oh,
One, Xbox
wait! It's not going to be just on the PS4 exclusive. It could just be on every... Great.
and PC. It will be 5-player multiplayer.
Not 4.
5 Rangers.
That's right.
What about 6? Because Tommy is in the
Today it's
game.
only 4 because we got a technical issue.
Fair
But
enough.
normally it'll be 5.
Wow.
PlayStation 4 and 5 can play against each other online.
Cross-platform. Okay. So
Cross-play, not cross-platform, but cross-play within the same ecosystem. Yeah.
Yo, what? So you not only get to play the game on the PS5, but on the PS4, cross-playing against one another online? Absolute money.
It includes our alternate version of Tommy and the Green Ranger. Green Ranger will unlock when you're done the thing, and then you can go back and play with your friends as Green Ranger.
Yeah, baby.
He has his own animations. He has the flute. You know, he has everything that you would expect him to have.
Yes, Dragon Zord. Let's go.
It is coming out this year. We only have 4 months left in the year, but it is coming out in 2024. It'll be digital only right now.
Okay.
We are looking into doing a physical edition. We want to do a physical edition. We got to get it out first. We got to get it done.
Collector's edition.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, buy this.
Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to get the physical. Damn, I can't get it, but do what you gotta do, bruh. That's all I can say is do what you gotta do to get the digital version out first. If it's positive prices, get the physical versions out done sooner. I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm loving what I'm seeing because this is all love. And that's what matters to me.
Get a collector's edition, please.
Yeah, all those things would be great. But yeah, it's coming out this year. We cannot wait for people to play it. And I know that the fans have been like, you have to give me an exact date. If I give you a date and then we miss it, oh, disappointment is way worse than anticipation. So trust that it will be 2024.
Yeah.
We are in QA now. We're polishing up some of those 3D sections. The brawler, as you can see, is pretty stable.
Yeah.
So we're looking.
It's not done yet, but it's coming. Trust me.
But it won't be too long to wait now.
Right, I love it. Listen, this game is addicting. Your passion for this game is addicting.
Thank
you
Yes,
so
it is,
much
man.
for bringing me by to play this.
Thanks for coming.
This is awesome. If you don't get a chance to check out this game, I don't know what's wrong with you. I mean, the demo will be out soon, I'm sure. The game will be out in around 4 months.
I'm hoping and praying that we get a demo version of this game before the actual game comes out later this year because y'all know I am hands on deck when it comes to Power Rangers and beat 'em ups. So if the demo comes out, be ready with me. So yeah, shout out to this content creator and shout out to Digital Eclipse and shout out to Dan who was so passionate about this game as much as we are. So I'm loving what I'm hearing about Tommy being an alternate version of him with the Dragon Flute, having a Dragon Zord. But you know what? This might be the best video I've reacted to so far. I'm hoping that this was one of your favorite videos of mine as well. So link to the article, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one.